You guys, summer has finally hit the Pacific Northwest. Yay. We may hit 80 degrees today. That is the prediction. Now, I know most of you are saying, oh my God, I'd give my kingdom for 80 degrees because most of the country is on fire. Well, not literally. Most of the country has had this crazy heat wave going on, and in the Northwest we have had rain and cold weather. I finally turned my heat off 2 days ago. Yay. I'm gonna have to turn my sprinkling system on probably today. So it's crazy. But anyway, you're not here to listen to me ramble about our weather. You're here to watch Trilogy Yarns podcast. So my name is Nancy. I am the owner and one of the dyers behind Trilogy Yarns. I do say one of the dyers because I do have a part-time person that comes in 3 days a week and helps me with that, which helps tremendously. You can find me on Instagram under Trilogy Yarns, Facebook, Trilogy Yarns, website trilogyyarn.com. All the information will be down below in the information box. And welcome to episode 3 of the Trilogy Yarns podcast. You might see me looking around. I've got the window open and I have a cat right outside the window. I have a big cat tree on the deck so that they can be up and looking around. So one just hopped in there. The other one was right here by my feet. They have both become very vocal lately since the third cat has left with my granddaughter. It's like nonstop meowing in this house. Anyway, welcome to all the new viewers. Welcome to all of you that have been here before. Grab a project, get a beverage, probably cold, although I'm still drinking hot coffee. It's pretty early in the morning. I have a full day, so I thought I'd get this done early. And grab a project and sit back and look and see, listen to what I've been up to the last couple of weeks. So let's get into it. Finished objects. What am I wearing? This is, and I'm going to stand up, so bear with me while I move things around. This is the Sunday Tee by Petite Knits. But almost see it. It's just below my hip bones there. So this is the Sunday Tee, and I have to tell you, it's true what they say. The camera does add 50 pounds, so no judgment-free zone. This is the Petite Knits Sunday Tee. Now, I wanted to do a striped sweater. Her projects, beautiful projects that have been uploaded to Ravelry, but I wanted to stripe one. So I just did a 10-row stripe in each color. The dark purple, let's see, the dark purple is my singles base, which is a single ply merino silk in the royalty color. And then the lighter is my Siri alpaca silk in my Maggot Museum colorway. Fun project. I'm all about, now that it's warm here, the cool weather knits. Took a little bit of time. It took about 5 weeks to do this one. It's on a size 2 on a light fingering. So there was a lot of knitting involved in this, but I absolutely love it. I have several Petite Knits sweaters that I have done and more that I'm going to do. So finished object number 1, the Sunday Tee by Petite Knits. Oh, I forgot sock blockers. Yeah. Object number 2, vanilla socks. This one is in Trilogy Yarns Broadway Musical Club colorway. This one is Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. This one is from a couple months ago. I'm sure you guys all have my sock recipe memorized by now. I do toe up, the Judy's Magic cast on, I increase to, and I do that on a magic loop. I increase to 64 stitches, and then I hop onto a 9-inch circular because I'm team 9-inch all the way. Fish lips, kiss heel. So I do 70 rounds for my foot, fish lips, kiss heel, 60 rounds for the leg. And then I just do, I'm still learning where the camera is, just a 2x2 rib. I do 12 rounds of that for the cuff. So another pair of socks off the needles. I haven't cast on a pair yet. I think I'm going to. I almost always have socks on the needles. And I was looking at my shorty socks, and I probably need to do some more. So I think for summertime, I might kick out some shorties. And that is my only finished objects, but I got a lot of progress done on another object. So that took a lot of time too. So let's just hop into what's on my needles. So the Starflower Shawl, and I'm gonna switch my screen. So here's the Starflower Shawl. I've talked about this before. This is by Sylvia Harding. This was the featured pattern at Nifty Knitter in Issaquah for the Puget Sound yarn crawl. And it was, I thought it was, the sample was absolutely gorgeous. So I decided to make one. Now I've had some problems with this pattern, and I think I've talked to you guys before about that. I have been knitting for several decades. I consider myself a pretty advanced knitter. I don't usually have problems with patterns. This one did not work out. I think that I'm not sure if this was test knitted, because it was a kind of a quick, I think a quick turnaround for Sylvia. And I've not had problems with her patterns in the past. But let me show you where I'm at. So I am doing mine in the colors. This is Trilogy yarns in the plush base, which is a merino cashmere nylon fingering, platinum mist, and dusty mauve. You know, one of these days I might invest in some decent lighting, but platinum mist and dusty mauve. And actually, this is where I was 2 weeks ago. And so I've done that much. But I've done it twice because I could not get the lace pattern for this section to work out. I tried, the numbers just didn't work. I couldn't even fake it. Normally, I can fudge something a little bit. I couldn't fudge it because then I was totally off. So I just went with the Starflower pattern, which is those little knots. I don't know if you can see those. So I just continued that pattern up with garter ridges. And now I am transitioning back to where the shawl is all going to be done in the platinum mist color for the end part. And let me show you. It's in my lap. I'm going to put beads. This will be a real test to see if you can see these beads. So I have some little tiny, and they're just like a mauve colored bead. And those are, I'm going to incorporate those into the white section. So I'm excited to start doing that. I think I have 2 more rows left of this little transition area. I have knit with beads in the past. I love knitting with beads. This particular pattern, you put the beads on with a crochet hook. I have done both, where you string the beads on the yarn and then you slide them down. And that's a good technique if you're doing, well, it would be almost like a chain of beads through your knitting if you're going to do like a scallop pattern. And that's a fun way to do it. The only problem is you have to string all the beads on the yarn before you start the project, and then you're constantly pushing the beads down the yarn, which I can't imagine is all that good for the fiber. So with a crochet, what you do, you'll be knitting along, and if the next stitch requires a bead, you have a little tiny crochet hook. Now, I'm not really good at my sizes. I want to say like maybe a 0.5 millimeter itty bitty crochet hook that the bead can slip onto. So when you get to the stitch that you want to knit with the bead, you slip the bead on the crochet hook, and then you hook the next loop of yarn you need to knit, and then you slide the bead over the loop of yarn and put the loop back on the needle, and then just knit away. And that is a really good way of placing beads in your work, and they don't travel. When they're on the string, like you're doing the teardrop thing with the beads, those beads will tend to move, and they'll actually work themselves into the knitted area that you don't want to bead. So with using the crochet hook, once the bead is there, it's there. It doesn't go anywhere. So that is project number 1. Project number 2 is a new cast on, and I'm going to show you that one. And that is the Anchors Summer Tea, another petite knits. This one is done out of DK weight. So it's a yoked sweater with raglan shaping past the yoke for the sleeves. I'm not going to give too much away because it is a pay pattern, but maybe I can just move this out of the way here. So your increases are done in the rib section. This is done out of a DK weight. So I may have mentioned before that I was getting in a new yarn base. You guys, I love this. This is my new yarn base. I don't even have it uploaded in the shop yet. It's too bad you can't feel it. It's 50% merino, superwash merino, 50% cotton. So it has the feel of a really soft cotton, but knitting with it, it feels like a merino. Cottons, most of you know, they don't have much give when you're knitting with them. And so your hands tend to get a little tired. This is an actual dream to work with. So I will be carrying this in the shop. I'm not quite sure when I will get it uploaded, but if you follow me on Instagram, you'll find out. I just got about 40 skeins to play with at first. I wanted to see how it dyed up, how it felt to work with before I invested too much money in it. Excuse me. So this will be coming to the shop, and I cast this on yesterday. I am doing the helical method because I am doing a tonal. And for anybody that knows hand-dyed yarn, we are not perfect. We can write down our recipes. We can write down the volume of water. We can put the exact amount of dye powder in the solutions. The humidity might be off. The dye gods are playing games with you. So I always recommend when you're working with a hand-dyed yarn, especially in a sweater garment where you might see some color changes, to alternate your skeins. So I am doing the helical method, which is my favorite way of alternating skeins because you don't have that fake seam on the inside of your work, and sometimes that's visible on the outside. So if you are not familiar with helical knitting, there's lots of YouTube videos. It's basically you just, when you're knitting along, you stop. I stopped 3 stitches before I need to pick up the new yarn. I slip those stitches, drop my old working yarn, pick up the new yarn, and then just work on around. So every row I am slipping the last 3 stitches of the color work I'm using. I hope that made sense. Anyway, here is what I have got done on the anchors so far. I am on my third repeat. I think I have one more round of, I should double check, one or two more increase rounds in the rib, and then it'll just go into stockinette. It's so nice to do a DK weight sweater after doing this one on a size 2. This one is on a size, US size 6. So this one is going to fly off my needles. I should have this done, depending on how much time I have this weekend. Hopefully we'll have the, for sure we'll have this done before I podcast next. So it'll for sure be done within 2 weeks. And that is all I am currently working on. I did not work on my crocheted granny stripe blanket at all. And now that the weather is warming up, I don't know that it will get much attention, but that's okay because I'll take the warm weather over working on that. Future knitting. So I have 2 things. Well, I have another sweater, that crocheted sweater I want to cast on. But now that summer's here, I think I want to start working on more summer wear. So I think the next one, I've got the yarn picked out. I'll show you what the next one is going to be. It's the Tegna. I know you guys have all heard of that one and seen that one. Now this is a bottom-up sweater. It's got this beautiful lace at the bottom. It's got just a little bit of some A-line shaping there, so it flares out. I will do a longer sleeve. What's this? I may do more like this sleeve length. I just think that nobody needs to see my arms. So the Tegna is what I'm going to cast on next. And what I'm going to use for that is oil slick. And this is on my Glamorous base, which is a 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. Oil slick is just a real fun colorway. I got the inspiration from looking at an oil slick on the road. This one, for sure, I will be alternating my skeins. You can see that even like this one is a little bit heavier speckled than this one. Same pan. It's just the mystery of dyeing yarn. So I am going to cast on the Tegna as soon as I finish the anchors. So next time we podcast, I hopefully will have a new sweater on the needles and a sweater off. And then the next one, and this was a free pattern I saw Monday or Tuesday on Ravelry by Lisa Much from Northbound Knitting. And this one is called Night Crest Shawl. I love an asymmetrical shawl, whether it be crescent or an offset triangle like this. Now she's got it with a gradient skein. Let's see if I can. Okay, well, here's the gradient skein that she used. So the stripes in here are gradiated. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do, I'll show you what I'm going to do. I am going to do Lincoln Park, which is a really, really deep blood red. This is pretty good representation of the color. And for the stripes, I'm going to do a Siri Alpaca Silk in the I'm Speaking colorway. So this is what I am going to use for my Night Crest shawl. I'm really loving the Siri Alpaca Silk base. It is so soft. It's next to skin soft. I'm pretty sensitive. I have a hard time with mohair. This does not bother me at all. So this is going to be my next cast on. after I finish the Starflower. And that's probably going to be, I don't know that I'll have this cast on by the next time we podcast, because I don't know if I'm going to have any problems with the beading, the lace part on that Starflower. If I am, and I have to kind of reinvent the pattern, because I'm for sure going to do some lace pattern because I want to use the beads. But hopefully it won't take me too long. And that is all my future knitting. I have no acquisitions this week. I did a trunk show last weekend at Twilight Yarn and Fiber up in Ponderay, Idaho, which is north of Sandpoint, Idaho. And I didn't buy anything. I have to roof my house. So I'm really trying not to spend any more money than I need to, because that is several thousand. And I have to do it this year. I can't put it off. The roof is only 15, 16 years old. The contractor, or the roofing guy that did the roof, passed away. And my husband was a contractor that subcontracted this roofing guy out. And since my husband has passed away, I have no one to, no one to contact about this 30-year roof that only lasted 15 years. So I do have to roof my house. So I'm trying very careful not to spend any money. That being said, I'm going to go to an amazing store this weekend for a trunk show that I'll talk about in Shop News. And I'm sure I'm going to come home with something, because I am. So let's get into Shop News, since I have no acquisitions. So I'm going to be doing a trunk show this weekend. This is June 23rd, so June 22nd. What are dates? When you work from home, what are dates? Anyway, the trunk show is the 24th, which is Friday. I will be there the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th. So I will be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This will be at Bazaar Girls in Port Townsend, Washington. Port Townsend is this neat old fishing town right on the Puget Sound. And I am staying in a place called The Castle. By looking on the website, it looks, they've got some really gorgeous old buildings there. And I am thinking, based on what I can see from the website and from what I can read, this is one of those old buildings that has been converted into a hotel. Now, they say on the room descriptions, everyone has an adjoining private bathroom. I'm not sure what that means. Does that mean I have to go out into the main hall and then into the bathroom? Is it like an ensuite bathroom? So at first, when I read it, I thought I was sharing a bathroom, and that was a deal breaker. But I have my own private bathroom, it said. So I'm excited to go to the castle. So I will be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday in person at the store. And then the store has said they would like to keep the trunk show for a couple more weeks. This is touristy season over on the Sound. So I am totally fine with that. So I do have that trunk show coming up. I did put a call out on Instagram for anybody that is either a yarn store owner or has a favorite LYS that they think would be a good fit for Trilogy yarns. I do have a lot of upcoming trunk shows between now and the end of the year. I can always squeeze in a few more. This is will be my busy season, so I don't mind, being on the road 3 weekends a month. So let me know, put in the comments below if you think there would be a good fit in your area for Trilogy yarns, and I can reach out to the yarn shop owner and we can talk and see if this might work. What else in shop news? The Christmas in July advents have all been shipped. So everybody, if you haven't received them, you should be getting them very soon. They shipped out last Friday, I believe. So you should be getting those if you haven't already received them. Advents are so much fun. They're a lot of work. And while I'm planning for them, I'm thinking, why do I do this to myself? They're just a lot of planning goes into those. And then as I'm packing them up and shipping them out, I'm just thinking, this is so much fun. So Christmas in July is out. Hocus Pocus 2 is my Halloween Advent this year. And that is based on the movie Hocus Pocus 2. I hope it comes out. I don't think it's been released yet, but I know there's been some trailers. I hope it comes out before Halloween so I can name my colorways. If not, it will be Hocus Pocus 2.0 from the original Hocus Pocus, which is a great Halloween movie. I do have a few of those left in the shop. That is a 14-day mini skein Advent and a full 100-gram skein for the 15th day. So you can either open them the first 15 days of October. Some people choose to do it the last 15 days so they can open the full skein on Halloween. You can do every other day. You can open them all at once when you get them. There's no rules. So that is a fun one. Starting to work on goodies for that. And also I have my holiday Advent, which this year I am doing a collaboration with Joanna from Stitch in the High Notes. She's a beautiful, beautiful bag maker. So with the holiday Advents, you will receive 24 mini skeins, a full skein for day 25, a project bag, a pattern. There is a pattern in this Advent, and lots of fun goodies. So I do have a few of those also left in the shop. Excuse me. I'm falling apart now. I'm a hot mess. I'm starting to sweat. I have the window open. I turned the ceiling fan off just because I didn't want it looking like a strobe light up there. And I'm drinking hot coffee. So soon it's going to be time to switch to cold drinks. So that is the Advents. I have several monthly clubs. I have my Friends Monthly Club, which shipped out Monday. Monday it shipped out. Tuesday, yesterday it shipped out. Those will be coming soon. This month I thought was really a fun one. The Friends Monthly Club, you have your choice of base from Glamorous, which is my 80/20 fingering, my Plush, which is the Merino Cashmere Nylon fingering, and my Merino Cashmere Nylon DK. So you have your choice of base in that. Those are dyed up based on a quote, a scene, something from the TV show Friends. So that is a fun one. I'm not going to tell you what it was because people haven't been receiving them yet. That's a secret. My Color Explosion Mini Club will ship out next week. That is, you get 6 20-gram mini skeins of my Merino Cashmere Nylon fingering. All new colorways, just a fun explosion of color. And yeah, so that is a monthly club. I also have my Discovery of Witches monthly club. That is based on the book Discovery of Witches by Diana Harkness. You guys are yelling at me if I'm wrong. I think that's her name. I'll double check and I'll link it in the show notes. If you haven't read the book series, there's three books in the series, or seen the movie, it's a great movie. But anyway, I digress. I have the Discovery of Witches monthly club. That one I believe is available on Plush, DK, maybe sport. Might be sport too. And I have my Broadway Musicals Club, which is one that we are having so much fun with. And I'm going to show last month's, no, this month's. And those shipped out last week. Everybody should have them. If you haven't received yours yet and you don't want to be spoiled, look away, because I'm going to show this month's. A little bit of crinkling. So this month's Broadway musical was Moulin Rouge. So that was the inspiration for this month's. Here is the yarn. Just a really fun club. Every month we do pick a musical, a Broadway musical play, and then we will take a picture of the playbill and dye the yarn to match the playbill. Also in this month's and in every month, you do receive a little packet of the Eucalyptus wool wash. And this month you got a little goodie bag of stitch markers and or progress keepers. So every month you do get the Eucalyptus wool wash, you get the playbill cover, you get the yarn, and then you get another little knitting tool, personal care item. Just a little extra something in that one. So that is the Broadway Musicals Club. Have not started dyeing any new colorways yet. I have great intentions of getting in there and working on some new colorways. It hasn't worked yet. I do have the new base, so that is what's new to the shop. But I thought I would just, I was putting some yarn away this morning and I saw some color combinations and I thought those would be so cool. What could we do with those? So I pulled up a pattern that I have made and I will show you what that one is. Maybe. The tilted cowl. I'm not a fan of the colors. I hope I don't offend everybody. I've seen, this one is better. This one is better. This one is very pretty. So the tilted cowl is a 3-color, it's a fingering weight cowl. I love wearing these because you don't have to mess. Okay, this is going to go really good with this sweater. But you don't have to mess with the ends of the scarf. So this is one of my versions of the tilted cowl. I've done a couple. This one I have done in whiskey. So the gold is the whiskey. The second section, you fade it in, is Smells Like a Goat. And then the third section is Stormy Weather. So those are the 3 colors that I used on my tilted cowl. I thought this would be a fun combo. This one is Blush. This one is Oyster Shell and Stormy Weather. I really, really like pinks and grays together. So I thought that would be a super fun combination. If you're more of a peachy yellow, orangey person, I have Peach Blossom. I have Maple Leaves, and I have Melon. So I thought this, make sure you're in the picture there, would be an also fun tilted cowl. And then that night crest shawl I'm going to do by Northbound Knitting. I thought these would be fun in that too, for that. So this is the Melon again. This is Embers. And you could either do the main section in the Melon and then use the Embers for the, you know, for the faded short row section, or do the whole section or the whole shawl in the Embers and do the Melon for the short row sections. So just a couple color selections. I'm just going to do a real quick check. Awesome. My notes are done. Life updates. No new life updates. Slowly, very slowly, because I'm not home and summer's going to be pretty busy. I am working on the house. And by slowly working on the house, I did get the guest room carpet shampooed. That was all I got done. I do need to start painting maybe next weekend. I don't know what my schedule is. I know I'm in town next weekend, so it would be fun to get that painted. I have furniture for it. So once I get the guest room done, somebody can come visit me. So if anybody wants to come visit me, give a shout out. Trunk shows, traveling. I talked about that. The weather is gorgeous. I've given up on my yard. Last weekend, no, 2 weekends ago, I took the weed eater. I have this fence, this one of those white vinyl privacy fences around my yard, but the neighbors directly behind me, yard work is not a priority for them, and their backyard looks like a dump. Every kind of broken down vehicle. So that's why we put the privacy fence up. But all these weeds keep coming up under the fence. So I took the weed eater, chopped them all down, took ground killer, and I just went around and killed all the beds where I'm not going to do any planting this year. I do need to thin the strawberries. So I have 6 raised garden beds. I am getting rid of 4 of them. I had the raised gardens when the kids were here. I don't have time. I love to garden, but when I don't have time, it becomes a chore and then I lose interest in it. So I am getting rid of 4 of the raised beds. I'm going to keep 2 just for the strawberries. My raspberries are so full of blossoms, and my blueberry bush last year did nothing. This year it's got a lot of little blueberries on it. So I will have lots of fruit from the backyard, but no fresh vegetables. So let's see. No other life updates, just living the dream. So everybody have a good 2 weeks. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend. I love reading your comments. If I don't acknowledge them, that doesn't mean I haven't read them. So I love reading your comments. Everybody stay cool. Have a good summer. Well, I see you before the 4th of July. Let me just see what, I know you guys are all yelling at me. Come on, come on. I will not see you before the 4th of July. So everybody have a safe 4th of July, but have fun. Just be responsible, whatever you do. If you're doing fireworks and it's really dry where you're at, maybe reconsider. If you're out on the water, be safe. Have a designated boat driver. Around here every year, you always hear tragedies. So be safe, but have fun. And I'll see everybody in a couple weeks. Bye.